Hello viewers, welcome to our channel. In today's video, I'll show you how to analyze multiple KPIs in a single visual using field parameters. In this video, we also show you how to use multiple parameters in a single field parameter table. For example, in this case, if you could see, we have two main categories and then we have four subcategories. So based on the main category selection, we are going to analyze the KPI. So let's say when you select sales, you get options to analyze based on local sales or USD currency, and then when you select quantity, you get option to analyze at the quantity based on piece or at the box level. So these are the subcategories. You have four subcategories and then you have two categories. Same way you can expand the field parameters for more number of criterias. So in this video I will show you how to build this type of structure, dependent slices, and then analyze the data using this type of dependent slicer in a field parameter. So let's jump into the content. Okay, so let's first have a look into our data set. So I have a table. So I have a simple sales table which contains date and an item, and then it contains sales amount in USD and then sales amount in local currency. Same way, quantity in piece and quantity in box as well. Very simple data. Let me just quickly slightly format this data. Let me mention these columns as sales columns. So I just change to fixed decimal number, and same way I will change this to fixed decimal number. So these two are just sales data and rest of them looks fine for me. I'll just quickly load this data. So after this, we need to create four measures. So I'm going to create four measures. Let's say we'll start sales in USD equal to sum of, so you just mention the column. Same way I'm going to create another measure for local currency. Sales in local and just change the column name. This is fine. Now create two measures for quantity also. This should be quantity in piece, and this should be from different column. We can say quantity in piece. Let's copy this, and final measure, we are going to create final measure, which is quantity in box. So now we are good. We have four of them created. Generally, when you put this data into a visual, let's consider stacked chart, or we can consider area also. Let's place this area chart. Generally, have a look how exactly it looks. Let's say you want to use one visual to switch between sales data, and then let's add not separately here. So in x-axis, let's say we have our month in x-axis, and then in y-axis, let's say you have sales in USD. This looks fine, but the problem is when you bring in quantity also into the same, that's where the problem is, because quantity is of a different scale completely. If you could see, you have just 18 quantity in box is just 18, whereas sales amount is 4.5. Okay, now the problem is you can't fit them both in a single scale, but if you want to show both of them together in a single visual, then best way to do that is using field parameters. Now we are going to create the field parameters for this. Go to new parameter, let's say, and let's add all the 4 measures that we have created. Let's say sales trend. I named this with the suffix fp just to mention that it is from field parameters. Now you get a default table created. Now this is how it looks. This is how your your field parameter table looks, and you would be able to see a new table generated here. Now here we have a catch. So we are going to add 2 new columns to this table. The first column is, just type a comma here next to the number. First column is to say if it is sales data or quantity data. Sales. And if it is sales, which sales it is? It is local. Same way, sales, comma, USD. Same here, quantity, comma, and then box, then final one, quantity, comma, piece. I think this looks good, and once you click here, you could see 2 new columns got added. Now we are going to use these columns in slicer. Now go back to this page, and we are going to create a slicer first thing. Insert visual, and let's add a slicer here, and my first slicer is going to be about main category, that is, should it be sales or quantity. And what we can do with this, we can go back to formatting, and we can very well make it look like a tile, and then enable a single selector. Good. So you have a single select as well enabled now, and now we are going to add the another slicer. Insert slicer, and we are going to add next column, that's the secondary category. Now what you can see here is, based on this selection, main category selection, you could see your value getting changed here. So let's quickly clean this up. So I have 2 slicers here. Let me quickly let me just resize this and then change the alignment. That should be good. And go back to this and then change this to tile. This looks better. We just need to change the slicer header. Let's keep that as subcategory, and then name this as category. Perfect. I think now we are ready. Now let's change the main visual. Let me just move this to right side. Let me put this on top, and then I have my subcategory here. We can just increase the size. Yeah, I think now we are good to go. Just we need to edit this table. Let's go back. So x-axis is fine, absolutely fine for us. In y-axis we should not be having these individual parameters. Instead, just go for this field parameter. That's it, simple. Now you have this quantity is, and then based on your selection here, it shows quantity in box. And let's say if you select piece, let's test sales first. Sales in local and USD looks good. USD, it just shows USD. Okay, I think one quick fix. We just need to change the format of this data. USD should not be shown in pounds. You can just quickly change this. Local, pounds, USD, it has to change. I think there is some glitch. Okay, now let's select quantity. I should be seeing here, two things here. Let me quickly check. Okay, so I have spotted the mistake. So it was simple. When I select quantity piece, I am not getting anything, whereas when I select quantity box, I get the visual. It's just due to a typo. So if you could see, for quantity in box, I have rightly selected the measure, whereas for quantity in piece, I think I have selected the column. So it should not be column, it should be quantity in piece. It should be the measure. So manually I have edited this table, and now I should be able to see for piece as well. Excellent. So that works. Now when you clear this, you should be able to see both quantity in box and quantity in piece. And when you select sales, you would be able to see two things. One is sales in local and sales in USD. So that's excellent. Even this should be working. Let me quickly change this currency format. For USD it should be, yeah. So now I have changed the currency format of USD. Now it is showing USD in dollars, and same way local is shown in pounds. So I hope you would have found this video useful. Please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.